titan this evening is an amazing, amazing dancer. At the age of 5, she held a mastery in Carnatic music. At the age of 13, she joined the famous Kalakshetra based in Chennai, India, and completed her diploma in dance. At a later stage, she was invited to collaborate and explore ethno-technical style of fusion along with Bharatnatyam by the royalties of Sweden. Today, she has created her own center of arts, cocooned in the hills of Devnalli called the Nandi Kalagram. Here is where she shares her rich experience and learnings with several young budding artists who visit its portals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the AGNI Titans Rendezvous. Thank you so much for being here this evening.
Nadanam Adina Vegunagari Gamagave Kanaga Sabail Nanda Nadanam Adina Vegunagari Gamagave Kanaga Sabai Nanda Nadanam Adina Vegunagari Gamagave Kanaga Sabai Nanda Nadanam Adina Vegunagari Gamagave Kanaga Sabai Nanda Nadanam
Good evening, Mrinalini, Rajaram. Thank you so much for being on our Titans Rendezvous show this evening.
Good evening, Anand sir, and it's a pleasure to be with you this evening.
It's been such a wonderful journey that you have gone through, and I can see that since I know you, and I've discovered so many beautiful aspects of your past life and your present initiatives. I would love the audience to know, how did it all begin and when did it all start?
Okay. So I have been having this passion for dance within me from a very young age. But this all started when I was the age of 12. So I had a vision in mind, and I was very sure that there is a school which taught fine arts, which had dance, music, and sculpting, painting, etc. And I was very adamant that I wanted to join full time, not just as a hobby. So in fact, the first introducing was done by my friend's father in school,
Okay.
who took me to these Deccan Herald festivals which were held in Chaudhaya.
All right, Chaudhaya, Bangalore.
So yes, and these programs were staged by Kalakshetra. So they were the Ramayana series, which I witnessed personally, and I just fell in love with the way it had been presented and the dance. It looked very divine to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was at a very spiritual level, not just as a hobby, and because for me, dance was never just the movements of hands and legs, and it was much more than that. So I had already foreseen, yes, this is what I want to do and this is what I want to be in. And that's when the journey started. So I spoke to the registrar of Kalakshetra, who was also present there at the program. And he told me that I was too young. Nee innu chinna kolande, he said. I still remember. He said,
Hmm.
you finish your 10th standard and then you come and then you can join Kalakshetra, he said. So the moment I finished 10th standard, I knew that I'm going to be there and I wanted to be there. So that was how I started my journey in Bharatanatyam, because I hadn't learned before. I did start a few months with Padmini Ravi, but I did not take it very seriously. So my mother said, okay, she's not interested in, in this, too many people around and too many children. And among that, I was just playing around. I wasn't concentrating. So then they got to know the seriousness. Okay, she's really serious. And I attended the interview in Kalakshetra.
Okay.
And I did not know anything about Bharatanatyam, though I knew a lot more about music,
Uh-huh.
but I did not know anything about Bharatanatyam. But then I just began, and that's how my journey started.
Wonderful. Mrinalini, one of the things that stand out when you just said something very nice. You said that it is never too young to start. I mean, people criticized the fact that you were too young, but you felt it was never too young to start. You can start at any age and become what you are presently today. But
Yes.
I'm sure in this entire journey that you took, you would have certainly faced quite a few challenges to have reached where you have reached today. And could you tell us what were those challenges, some of the challenges that you faced, and how did you manage to go around them?
Okay. So the main challenge for me was to move out into this this particular subject, that is fine arts, when amongst only engineers. The whole family is full of engineers. So for me to step out and then make them understand that this is what I want to do, and yes, this is my passion, and to move out and take that step was itself very challenging for me.
But Mrinalini, there has been, I have met several artists, someone like Astad Devu, who's a Padma Shri awardee, who started at very young ages, at the age of 10, 11, 12, 13, and today have achieved everything that they have to achieve. And yet, I have met young budding artists who were always told that, maybe you should mature a bit more, grow a bit more to take on this kind of passion that you have. And
Yes.
but I always believe that once the passion ignites inside you, it doesn't matter which age you are at. What is important is how much time you start dedicating to it selflessly to reach a certain level of finesse in your art.
So when it comes to that point, actually, initially, when we are young, all the practice, the number of hours that we put in for practice
Yes.
physically matters a lot. But as we grow up and as we mature, that maturity has to show out in our performance,
Right.
in our dance. So my teacher, my mentor always told me and taught me much more than just dance. Actually, to be very open, Kalakshetra not only taught us dance,
Uh-huh.
it taught us how to live. It taught us how to be amongst different kinds of people from different kinds of places. So that kind of maturity helps a lot in dance also.
Right. So what you're trying to say is that Kalakshetra also taught you a way of life.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, that is
And
amazing.
at the same time, it is also important what each student takes from there.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes, because when we have 30 students, for example, when we have 30 students going in, all 30 may not take the same what everyone takes. So
Right.
each of us may take something with us. So it depends on how we look at it, how we uh, see it. our experiences, all that matters.
I think,
And all that we carry out with us. So when it comes to saying maturity in dance, through our experiences in life, we gain certain maturity.
yes,
So that with that experience, we need to bring it out in our dance.
right, right.
Yes.
And,
So
and, and you're very right because it is your personal experience or
yes,
your personal inner consciousness which
yes,
actually brings out that performance in a language which is very, very exclusive only to you.
yes, it
And
is.
that I think that is what I notice when I see you dance, because there is a amazing language that you use in your dance, which is so unique to very, very exclusively
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's very important actually. And my teachers in Kalakshetra, or even now I'm still learning. I cannot say that I have already learned. I never say that. I'm still learning, and there's so much more for me to learn. So in that process, my teacher always tells me that physically performing is very different from putting our mind and putting all the experiences that we have in our life and bringing it into our art. It
Yeah.
makes a lot of difference.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the maturity that I think all the dancers are speaking about.
All
And
right.
that maturity will possibly be missing in children because they can only enact, they can only bring out what the teacher teaches them.
Right. Right.
But when
Right.
it has to come from within,
Right.
it definitely needs that maturity, definitely needs that experiences, and then it comes out naturally.
Ah. Mrinalini, which dance form did you specialize in at the Kalakshetra? There's a reason I'm asking this question.
Oh, okay. I specialized in Bharatanatyam because
Bharatanatyam.
that's the main that is concentrated there. But
Right.
other than that, they also teach a little bit of Kathakali because they need to, because the dance dramas are choreographed in such a way that the male character
Uh-huh.
uh, uses a bit of Kathakali steps and
Right.
things like that. So,
Right.
yeah.
The reason why I ask this question is
Yes.
I'm aware of one fact that you were invited by the royalty of Sweden, right?
Yes.
On a very specific fusion.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about this? What was this all about?
Okay. So this was actually a very interesting, meet with that Swedish sitar player. His name was Nicholas Holmberg, and he happened to meet one of my colleague in Kalakshetra, a senior of mine, and he just gave a cassette. In those days, cassette was the
Yes.
main, so he gave us
Yes.
the cassette
Yes.
and then said that I want you to compose Bharatanatyam for this music. And when we played the cassette, it was only techno music,
Oh my
trance
gosh. All
techno.
right.
Yes. So then we rejected, and I said, no, we cannot do it for this. I'm really sorry. You can ask someone else. Then he gave me a whole picture of what he was really trying to do. So he mixed violin, he mixed a little bit of ala, tabla, and he brought out such a beautiful, just a beautiful piece, music piece. I think they were about 6 pieces, and he made an album and gave each of them Sanskrit names. So it was easy for us to choose a theme. We did Bharatanatyam, but for the techno music. So he called it ethnotech.
But that would have
That
been a
was,
very unique venture for you, a very unique
oh
area
yes,
to move
yes,
into.
yes, yes. Because there was only instrumental music, and then he had actually brought out that you know particular mood
Uh-huh.
for the name that he had given, and we could present it very well.
Oh,
So yes,
that
I
must have
think
been wonderful.
it was an excellent experience.
My
And
God.
we performed, I think, 2 years consecutively. And the first time we performed in 3 or 4 places in Sweden. And then later, the following year, they invited us for the inauguration of that bridge that they built to Norway and between Norway and Sweden.
Oh, that would have been a
Yes,
wonderful
yes,
thing.
and that's when the royalties came and witnessed the performance.
That's when you performed for them.
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh. Now, Mrinalini, you have created very, very wonderfully your own center of art
Yes,
called the Nandi Kalagram.
yes.
That's all in the cocoon in the hills of Devanahalli. So could you tell us what this is all about? What is it, number one, that made you create this? Number two, what do you offer there? And number three, very importantly, how does that connect with your passion?
Okay. That's very interesting 3 questions. Okay, so the first, you want me to tell you what made me start that,
Yes.
right? Okay. The first thing is in this field, when I stepped into this field and I experienced I attended many workshops, I attended many classes of various teachers. The one thing missing that I could see is everywhere all students weren't allowed to learn.
Oh,
They would pick, yes, they would pick particular students and they were taught. Now this, I didn't want any of them to, miss on. So that's the reason why we had in mind, particularly, I really wanted all of them to be considered the same and taught.
right.
Once they are taught, later how they explore it themselves, it's up to them. But when we are teaching, we should be teaching them equally, without any
Prejudice.
favoritism or without any difference.
Right.
So that's what I really saw, and I didn't want that to, so we wanted to make a place where all students can come, learn to their fill and go back.
I see.
Yes, that's the reason why.
All right. So my second question was, what do you offer here at the Nandi Kalagram?
So here they can stay at the center, and then they attend the workshops, and then they go back. So the advantage of staying there and learning is at least they get a 0.1 or 2% of the atmosphere that we got in Kalakshetra. So basically, yes, not every student can go and join Kalakshetra because it's a very expensive affair.
Yes, yes.
So we can at least provide 0.5 of that atmosphere here at Nandi Kalagram.
Right.
So people can be involved in dance and music and forget about the rest of the world outside and go back with a complete different
Perspective.
feeling. Yes, perspective.
Yes. No, I agree with you because I think anything to do with art or creativity must have a residential offering.
Yes.
Because it is there where 24 hours the student and the guru, so to speak, get totally entwined in their
Yes.
own. A lot of artists who, especially the commercial artists that I've seen here, into
Yes.
commercial art, attending commercial colleges, don't really imbibe the atmosphere that surrounds a simple creation. They create.
Correct.
And their creation is very, very commercial. It is not an expression, it is not their own expression. It is
Yes.
not their expression of their own consciousness. It is an expression which just put on paper or just expressed on a dance floor,
Correct.
whatever. But I have noticed students who have actually spent residential days and weeks on end, a very different product altogether.
Yes.
Very
Correct.
different product altogether.
So the interaction, the students' interaction with the teacher is
Yes.
very important.
Yes.
And in Nandi Kalagram, we want to provide every student, no matter who, the
Right.
same kind of interaction, not different. There is nothing different in any student. The only difference is what they take with them.
Right.
Finally, what we have to offer, we offer in full.
Right.
But what they have to take, it is up to them.
Right, right. Now, one very important question I need to ask you. This requires a lot of time and dedication, and I do also realize that you are not only a very wonderful wife to a perfect gentleman, Mr. Rajaram, but also a mother of a very beautiful little girl, Shruti. Now, how do you manage to handle the requirements of a home as a wife and a mother, and also attend to all your passionate requirements at the Kalagram?
That's a very challenging question for me to answer. But yes, I guess it just depends on the time management. So
Right.
I think once we learn time management, everything is falling in place, and we are able to dedicate our time to everything
All
equally.
right. So, of course, I do realize that there is a phenomenal amount of support that you're getting from Rajaram and, of course, your child, which
That
is
yes,
helping you, your daughter, which is actually helping you do what you are so passionately chasing. And I have been to the Nandi Kalagram, and I have found it one of the most amazing places I have visited in the recent times, because there is something about that place which connects you. And as an artist myself, it's sort of every inch of space that connects me with it. And I think that is certainly a very major achievement from your end in terms of designing this entire color. One final question, very important question for you, Mrinalini, is there are many people, many of our viewers, in fact, who would love to do or be where you are, or understand how to get to what sort of journey that they should be embarking itself to reach where you are. So, what is the inspirational advice that you can give them uh, while they are facing their own challenges in their own journeys?
uh, my message to them would be: may it be a hobby, let it be their passion, but whatever they
Okay.
do, they have to do it with complete dedication. And once that dedication and devotion is there, it will automatically, the art or their devotion and faith in their passion itself will take them to heights. They don't have to do anything at all. It'll automatically take them to heights. But they have to have faith and complete dedication and complete devotion towards what they're doing. If it is art or anything, if they have to follow their passion, they have to do it to the fullest. And I believe, personally believe, that everyone is given a chance.
Right. Right.
Yes, everyone is definitely given a chance.
Very well
Maybe
said.
some
Very
of
well
them are getting it early and some of them late. But then they do get a chance. So they just have to do their work and not look at the results.
said.
They
Right.
just have to, yes, do their responsibility towards for the result. They should not wait for the result or see the result or expect it. It
Right.
will come. For some, it comes early. For some, it comes late. That is my personal experience.
I think these are very, very important words of wisdom because I have met a lot of artists along my journey of life where their end result is either to become very famous or to be doing the same things that other famous artists do, and in this process they have subconsciously or even consciously created a competition with people who have got far more years of experience and dedication and passion that they have. And the reason why I say they have far more dedication, passion, because when one competes with people, you destroy your passion and you destroy your dedication because
Exactly.
you're just competing. So
Yes.
I always advise them to compete with themselves to become a better
Yes.
person
Exactly.
every day when the sun rises, to say, today I must be better than what I was yesterday and nothing else.
Yes.
So I completely resonate with what you just advised.
Yes. No, it is very important. What you said now is very, very true, and that's what I really follow because I should be grateful to my. I should feel very lucky because my father taught us all these when we were young, and whatever he taught in that young age, we may not have understood, but as we have grown and come up, we realize those are all very true, and then we are trying to follow. I hope I'm trying to follow whatever he taught me, but the main thing he taught me was never to compete with others or do what others are doing. We should always ask ourselves, our mind, what we want to do and follow that. Then automatically things are taken care of. We don't even
Excellent.
have to run behind it, it comes to us.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrinalini, for being part of this talk show. It was such a pleasure chatting up with you. And we do hope to see more and more beautiful dances exiting out of Nandi Kalagram as the years go by. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much, Anand sir. It was a real pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
I hope I could give whatever you were expecting. I'm not sure.
You have done more than what I expected you as a guest for all my viewers. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much, viewers, for being here this evening. And before we leave, here's a little treat that Mrinalini has kept specially for your view. Thank you so much.